is there, which will be converted into CO2 plus ethanol. The enzymes pyruvic acid, okay, especially if you take decarboxylase enzyme, and it is alcohol dehydrogenase enzyme catalyzes these reactions of fermentation. Other organisms like bacteria, if you carefully observe, some of the bacteria, they produce lactic acid from the pyruvic acid by following steps. In animal cells like muscles, the muscles contains during vigorous exercise, when oxygen is inadequate, okay, the glucose in the muscles generally or muscle cells, which will be converted into pyruvic acid. This pyruvic acid generally it is reduced to lactic acid by lactate dehydrogenase. So this inadequate metabolism of glucose in the cells causes formation of lactic acid, which leads to muscle pains. Reducing power agents NADH+, okay, and which is reoxidized to NAD+, in both the process act as a reducing power agent. Nicotinamide adenosine dinucleotide, okay. In both the lactic acid and ethanol alcohol fermentation or alcohol formation, okay, not much energy is trapped, released, or less than 7% of energy is in the glucose is released. Not all of it is trapped into higher energy bonds ATP. Finally, also the process of hazardous, either acid or alcohol is produced. Now, what will be the total net of ATP is synthesized? Calculate how many molecules of ATP synthesized. If yeast cells receives 13% of alcohol during these reactions, yeast cells, they will poison themselves, and it leads to death during higher concentration of alcohol. When that happens, when maximum concentration of alcohol is produced, okay, in beverages especially, these kind of processes that are naturally fermented, okay. Now in eukaryotes, these steps takes place within the mitochondria, okay. These mitochondrions, and this requires oxygen, this requires which means aerobic respiration. This aerobic respiration is a process where that leads to complete oxidation of organic substrates in the presence of oxygen, okay, and releases CO2 plus water, and large amount of energy is produced here. Large amount of energy is produced during the aerobic respiration, okay. This type of respiration is most common in higher organisms, and we will look at this process in the next section. So what is aerobic respiration? That we will continue in the next part.